What's up, you guys? So today I am back with another video, and this is gonna be a fun one. If you're watching this video, you're probably struggling to fall asleep, and that's okay because it's gonna get better. Feel free to watch this while you're trying to fall asleep. I hope my vibes can bring you some peace and calmness. Yeah, let's put this real quick. But yeah, if you're watching this right now and you're struggling to fall asleep, you're having one of those restless nights, I'm here to tell you that this is only one night. Every night's not gonna be like tonight. In fact, you're gonna have better nights. You're gonna have more nights where you can fall asleep and everything's gonna be okay. But I really wanted to make this video to help you guys because I'm someone to this day have had quite the journey with sleep. If you don't know anything about me, my name is Janelle and I am 2 years Adderall free, and my purpose is to help people on this journey of becoming their best selves without being dependent on anything. And regardless if you're on a similar journey, or say you're going through like postpartum depression or can't sleep, whatever the reason is, and life is really hard when you can't sleep, because I know the struggle. It can be really debilitating when you're running off of no sleep. It literally
makes you want to hate life, and
I know exactly how you feel. It's been 2 years. However, the first year I was getting off Adderall was a fucking trip, and I was working in a really toxic work environment for me, and I remember operating on days without sleep in a high stress job, and I literally like
wanted to end it all.
But something just told me to keep on pushing and that it was gonna get better, and it does get better. I know you probably hear that a lot, but you just have to hold on to that little ounce of hope inside you because it's real. Like, that's your higher self telling you that it's gonna be okay. It may not be okay right now, but this too shall pass. So just know you're not alone, and I'm here to help you in any way that I can by giving you these tips. For me, it was really hard to even quit Adderall in the first place because I kind of anticipated that it was gonna happen, that I would have issues sleeping because Adderall is a stimulant. It keeps you up, and I would have to take melatonin, hydroxyzine, and I would even drink alcohol sometimes to fall asleep, you guys.
I lived a whole another life.
No shame though, that was just a part of my journey, but I can proudly say that I'm at a place where I don't take anything to sleep for the most part. Like 9 times out of 10, like with the exception of like if I really can't sleep, I'll take a CBD gummy. If I want to really sleep long, I'll take magnesium, but that's like a supplement. But the point is, I went from 100 to 0. So now we are all natural and we're striving to just be fully reliant on our natural circadian rhythm to fall asleep. The first tip for you guys, I really recommend this podcast. If you're struggling with insomnia, you may already know this guy because he's called the Insomnia Coach, but he really helped me change my outlook on everything. It's this man right here. Forgot his name. I'm gonna link everything down in the description. He talks about more of like the whole, I don't know what you call it, psychological effects and cognitive therapy and things of that nature to help. So it's on the holistic approach. There are no medications. It's just how you use sleep and how you reframe your thinking. But for me, one of my biggest takeaways from him is like, the way I would go about it is like, oh my god, I have to fall asleep. If I don't fall asleep, the world is gonna end. I'm gonna have the shittiest day. I'm gonna fuck up at work. Like, the world is literally crashing and burning, because it kind of feels that way, especially if you've gone days without sleep. The most I've gone was probably a week without sleep. However, I would take, naps in between, but I didn't have full like REM sleep for days, and that like does a number on you, trust. So the biggest thing I learned was to just surrender and accept. If you can't sleep, just accept it. You can't sleep. And this is something that I learned throughout those days in the beginning where I would just operate without sleep. You can do it. Like, it's not gonna be fun, but you can go a full day and work with no sleep. I did have an episode recently where I just couldn't sleep. It happens less frequently as the years go by, thank God, but it still happens, and it may still happen in the future. Regardless of the Adderall, like things happen in life where you just can't sleep, and it's like, it sucks. But just know that your body is more powerful than you think it is, and you can work. like you can go about your day. And if you have the freedom and flexibility to like not work or whatever, that's awesome, do that. But like for me, I recently got a new 9-to-5 job, and not gonna lie, there were some days where I literally had an episode and I called off work. But what the insomnia coach taught me through the testimonials of a lot of people who also go through insomnia, whenever you can't sleep, just try to go to work. Of course, if it's like one of those things where you just can't and you're emotionally and mentally not okay, like call out. You need to overcome your thoughts, because I created this limiting belief that if I don't sleep, I'm gonna fuck up at work and I'm gonna have the worst day, because that probably has happened a few times. However, the more you train yourself that it's gonna be okay, the less episodes of sleepless nights you have. It's hard to explain, but it's like the more you surrender and just let go of the outcome, the more your desired outcome comes into your life. So now what I do is, if I just can't sleep, or if I just end up getting an hour of sleep, 2 hours of sleep, I still go to work and I still show up. You know, I'm tired as shit, but I end up sleeping that night. And that's another thing. He also said that the body will sleep when it needs to sleep. I had days where I just had to push through, and once you push through those days, it gets better. If anything, watch Insomnia Coach. There are a lot of other testimonials that can speak better. I'm just trying to sum up the big learnings, but it's mainly just acceptance and knowing that you can function, and whenever it's time for your body to rest, it's going to rest. Even better, I'll insert the best episodes from his podcast that you guys need to watch. Number 2, I used to do this, like I would watch movies at night and shows, because you know, it would help me get my mind off of things and relax. But for me, I don't recommend watching anything that will spike your cortisol levels. Like if you're watching a really good show like Ozark or Game of Thrones, anything like that where you can find yourself getting too stimulated, it's probably not the best thing. Maybe opt for something more relaxing and less visually stimulating, but still entertaining, like a podcast. You want to eliminate as much visual stimulation, like no blue light. You want to actually minimize as much light as you can. So I wouldn't even try to look at your phone, just like listen to audiobooks instead. I also stopped like messaging people, and I stopped social media. I decreased my social media usage like by 90%. I literally don't go on it anymore. But if you're someone that does go on social media, I would create a hard boundary with yourself and stop going on social media by like say 9 o'clock, 7. The earlier the better, because being on social media is so stimulating. Even if you may feel like you're not being entertained, when you're constantly seeing things change in front of you over and over, and you're especially like with the news and stuff, you guys, that like goes into your subconscious and it affects everything. Tire yourself out. I'm not gonna tell you like, oh, exercise, but yes, if exercising helps reduce your stress levels and cortisol levels, do it. Because for me, I found that the days that I don't exercise, it's like as if all the stress from work, I have no outlet. Like it just stays in my body. But when I exercise after work, I'm able to transmute that energy and like let it go. Find something that you like doing. If it's like going for a walk, or even me, this is great because it's actually encouraged me to clean up and like do more deep cleaning and organizing. It's like the more I do things, like do laundry and stuff, the more I'm exhausted at the end of the day, and I could actually go to sleep. And not only that, like whenever you have all your tasks checked off your list, it's like you can go to sleep knowing that everything's taken care of. The more things that you can do to minimize your stress, the easier it is to fall asleep. Mouth taping is another thing. That's a whole nother video though, but you want to train yourself to sleep and breathe through your nose, like while you're sleeping, like, and you're not breathing through your mouth, because if you're breathing through your mouth, you're not getting the proper oxygen into your lungs. That's why you wake up with like dry mouth, especially those nights where you have slept and you wake up like 8 hours have gone by and you feel exhausted. It's because you weren't getting enough oxygen. This is a whole nother thing you gotta get used to, but if you just get a piece of tape, I literally use medical tape, put it on my mouth, and you train yourself to just sleep through your nose, or to breathe through your nose while you sleep, and it helps a lot. If it's a really good day, I will run a nice hot bath put some Epsom salt, light some candles, put the speaker in there, put some Vicks Vapor Rub on my chest, and just relax and unwind and create something that you have to look forward to at the end of the night. You know, smoke a joint, drink a glass of wine, cup of tea, whatever the fuck you want, and just relax and create those positive associations with the nighttime. With that, it's like I'll play a really nice podcast once I'm in bed. And getting an eye mask, you guys, like I said, you want to minimize as much light as possible. You'd be surprised, like the little lights like on your appliances and stuff, like those affect your sleep. So I duct tape anything that emits light, extra light, when I sleep, or I just unplug them. And on top of that, I'll wear an eye mask, and it's pitch black. I'll be able to have complete darkness so you could have absolute peace and fall asleep. Okay, you guys, so here's something that has really helped me. I didn't think this would, but sound is very healing, and I sleep with binaural beats every night. They're just like, I can't even explain what it is. It's just like really calming frequency music. You can play affirmations. Like, I'll link you guys my favorite things to fall asleep to, but binaural beats, I don't know what account it is, again I'll link it below, or Jesus healing music is my favorite. Regardless of what religion you are, something like the Jesus healing, like you literally look up Jesus healing music, but it's such high frequency, but still like it's calming like to your ears, but it emits a certain frequency that helps you just tune in to the state of peace and being able to sleep. I feel like before I would like hear stuff like that, like, oh, like I wouldn't think that something like that would actually help you fall asleep, but I swear to you guys, it does. And it's like saved me a few times where I probably would have stayed up all night, but I played a binaural beats playlist or Jesus healing music and I just fell asleep, and it's awesome. So I'll link those for you guys below. Here's another really important one. If you're in an environment that is super stressful and toxic, whether it's your relationship, living with your family, having a shitty ass boss, hating your job, or even if you are the toxic one doing something, take a moment to really sit down and pinpoint all the things in your life, or at least the main things that are causing you stress. I just took a chance and I quit my job without any backup. I am so glad I just listened to my intuition. Like, a much better opportunity found me after I quit. I'm not directly saying to quit your job, but really like be solution oriented. What is it that's causing me stress? Like, what is it really that is not helping me sleep at night? Because yes, you know, if you're going through Adderall withdrawals, you know, there are some, I guess, I don't know if the word's biological, but there are things going on that are preventing you, but more often than not, it's anxiety that's not allowing you to sleep. And anxiety is a byproduct of Adderall withdrawals, or like, say, if you have a new baby or whatever it is that is causing you insomnia, it's because of the underlying thoughts and programming that you have going on in your life. So I think the biggest thing for me was being able to just get out of that toxic job. And if there's anyone out there who has the means to do so, or like if you're wondering like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, like I don't have a job lined up, I'm gonna talk to you like a sister. Start looking for other jobs while you're in your current job. There are a million other jobs, and I know it may seem like you're trapped, but there is always more than one way out. Or even yourself, you guys. Is there something that you're holding on to? Resentment? Therapy. I was in therapy for about 2 years. I'm not against therapy, but I feel like I'm at a really good place right now where I could fully therapize myself. That's not a word, but if I ever have something where I feel like I need therapy, I literally just talk to my higher self and I meditate. And if it ever gets to a point where I need more assistance, I'll go back to a therapist. But in the beginning, y'all, like especially with my initial quitting of the Adderall, having a therapist or having someone to talk to really helped. It's really important to look inward, because sometimes the things that we do, like we may not be fully aware. There's like a lot of unresolved trauma that we may have inflicted on ourselves or onto other people that's affecting our sleep at night. So I guess my overall point is really be honest with yourself and try to pinpoint what is that thing that's stopping me from getting peaceful sleep. Okay, y'all, and then this is my very last thing. I saved this for last. This is not the easy way out, but I feel like you guys, if you really implement all the things that I said prior to what I'm about to say, you will not need what I'm about to say. But this is just for the last resort, or for people that really need assistance. I'm not a doctor. You know, I'm only sharing you guys what I've experienced, but medication. So I had an episode in the beginning of my withdrawal journey where I didn't sleep for I think about a week, and I was actually going insane, and I had to go to the doctor, and the doctor prescribed me hydroxyzine. This is prescribed by my primary care doctor that's known me and knows my medical history, and this is an antihistamine, so it's actually I think for allergies. So this is not addictive whatsoever, but it was to help my anxiety, and it really helps. It helps so much that I could honestly become addicted to this stuff. That's how bad it is. I can't fully elaborate how to go about this, but I still have these for absolute emergencies. I haven't taken one of these in over a year because instead I try to go more holistic, and I'll take CBD and CBN gummies. This one's a soft gel. I don't like these as much. I do have the gummies because you can control the dosage better. Like, I'll literally just take a corner of a piece, but because of my history with pills and stuff, you guys, I just don't want to be taking anything. Knowing me, even though they may not be like actually proven to be addictive, you guys, like, I will create this belief that I need it. That is not who I am anymore. I am fully reliant on myself and the natural capabilities, and every once in a while I will use one of these things to help me, but you know, we're not resorting to those things. But again, you're at a different place of your journey and you do need something. I recommend first going the holistic approach. You can get these CBD CBN gummies at your local dispensary or CBD shop. And then, of course, absolute last resort, go to your doctor and get medication because it will help. But if you're like me and you're trying to go holistic and like you're ready on your road to sobriety, I don't recommend pills. Listen to your body, you guys. I hope these tips helped, and just know you're a lot stronger than you think, and you don't have to go through this journey alone. And I'm already proud of you for taking the steps and even making it to this video, because that means you're just getting better. So I love you guys so much, and God bless.